Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and in tonight's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing the 1986 movie from Martin Scorsese, The Color of Money. The Color of Money is the 1986 sequel to the 1961 movie The Hustler with Paul Newman, and this movie once again stars Paul Newman himself and Tom Cruise. Legendary actor Paul Newman and Academy Award nominee Tom Cruise ignite the screen in this powerful drama. Brilliantly directed by Martin Scorsese, Newman recreates one of his most memorable roles from The Hustler. As Fast Eddie Felson, he still believes that money won is twice as sweet as money earned. To prove his point, he forms a profitable yet valued partnership with Vince, a young pool hustler with a sexy, tough-talking girlfriend. But when Vince's flashy arrogance leads to more than a few lost matches, all bets are off between Eddie and him. The Color of Money will electrify you with its suspenseful story, dazzling cinematography, and dynamic performances. Excuse me. So I remember streaming this movie on Paramount Plus. I watched it on digital streaming a couple months ago, like this year. After I watched The Hustler, I watched The Color of Money, and this movie's also the fourth Martin Scorsese film I also watched, because this movie was actually directed by Martin Scorsese, like the one and only Martin Scorsese himself. And I gotta say, this movie was just as awesome as The Hustler, because I really enjoyed this movie as much as The Hustler. And I also read on the internet that for Tom Cruise to prepare his role for the film, he actually practiced some pool trick shots to prepare for the role. Because before this movie came out and before this movie was even made, like Tom Cruise has never even played pool before, so he had to do some practicing. He had to do some practicing to prepare for the role, to play some pool. And yeah, that's what I read on the internet, and I thought that was a very interesting fact about Tom Cruise and how he got to be a part of this movie with Martin Scorsese. And I gotta say, this movie I thought was what makes it even more awesome is that Martin Scorsese actually puts effort to this movie, like how Martin Scorsese can direct a sequel to an old black and white film. And yeah, this was just a very cool movie from the mid '80s, and yeah, Paul Newman's great as Fast Eddie again, and Tom Cruise. I thought Tom Cruise actually did a real good job in this film, and yeah. And plus, the movie's also from Touchstone. The movie's also from Touchstone Pictures as well. Yeah, technically that used to be like a Walt Disney company. But I think from my perspective, as far as my knowledge goes, I streamed this movie on Paramount Plus or something, because I think it was on Paramount Plus when I first streamed this movie, if I remember correctly. But sometimes I forget things, and it's just until I'm proven wrong. But yeah. And then of course I got this DVD along with The Hustler from like eBay and stuff like that. I got this DVD from eBay. And this movie I thought was very interesting. The screenplay itself, it's good and all. And oh yeah, and Mary Elizabeth like Tortino, whatever you want to pronounce that last name. Like, cause I've known her in a couple other films she was in, like Scarface and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And I think that's how you say it. Yeah. I don't know why I say that a lot, but whatever. Yeah, and of course the movie's rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying a parent or adult guardian. And yeah, and like I said, this was the fourth Martin Scorsese film I watched before I watched the other Martin Scorsese films back in October, before I saw Killers of the Flower Moon. And while this movie's not really like one of Martin Scorsese's best films he's ever made, I gotta say, this movie was actually one of his underappreciated films that Martin Scorsese has directed. Yeah, the same thing goes to Shutter Island, which I personally think Shutter Island is also another underrated film from Martin Scorsese. And yeah, so overall, The Color of Money was just as awesome as The Hustler, and I'm gonna give The Color of Money 4.5 out of 5 stars. Same rating I would give the first film, The Hustler. So yeah, if you enjoyed The Hustler, or if you haven't seen it yet, and if you haven't seen The Color of Money yet, then I recommend checking out this one along with The Hustler, and I recommend checking out both films. I fairly enjoyed them. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for my movie review on The Color of Money. And that's going to be it for this video, so make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying, goodbye everybody, and that's about it.